All right, welcome back to another review, and today I want to talk about the Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Utrom, or to some people known as Krang. They were called Utroms in the comic books back in the 80s. This was the style for these guys back then, and then when the cartoon came out, you had that Krang body that we all know and love from the actual animated series, but this is the comic book version from back in the day. I apologize. So, actually, this is like number 3 in the series, and I gotta say, this guy comes with a plethora of accessories. So let's get into taking a look at those. Starting off, he comes with a couple of tools. So he comes with a wrench and whatever this is, other tool like a I don't know, like a plasma tool or screwdriver or whatever you want to say, whatever kind of tool that it is. But this is the Utrom's tools, and they're all cast in red. And yeah, this is for working on the Technodrome or other Utroms. He comes with 3 pairs of fists, so these are kind of a gripping hand. And here's the other set, and I know I have one of each. And I noticed that when I started, but these are slightly open gripping hands and one's a little bit more closed. But I think that one's holding for the weapon, and one is for holding the tools. Next we have his blaster. I like the way they did the shading on this right here, comic book style. You have the front here of the blaster. Very nice. I mean, well done. I do dig the way NECA is doing these figures. And then he comes with his little cup of coffee, cocoa, oil, whatever you want it to be, but his drink. Last but not least, we have his alternate head, and here you can see the side of his head's blown out, his eyeballs hanging out. I do believe that this was because of Donatello's staff. I know I see that quite a bit, or I mean, you can make it whatever you want, but I'm just saying I do believe that the reason why this head is like this is because of Donatello shoving his staff through the eyeball of one of the Utrom robots. But anyway, I mean, look, the wires are hanging out of the eyeball. They did a beautiful job on this. Oops, trying to get this. There it goes. Look at that. That's a little soft plastic. All this stuff bends very, very nice. This is a little sharp, so just be careful. But for the most part, I mean, look at the detail. I mean, just beautiful detail that they've added to this figure. Really nice. All right, so that brings us to the Utrom himself. So, I mean, you can name this guy whatever you want, right? They were called Utroms back in the comic books back in the 80s. And yeah, I mean, those old black and white comic books were phenomenal. I used to love reading those. If you guys have the NECA Turtles, I have 2 sets of those turtles, and they are absolutely beautiful. I'm talking about the comic book versions, the Eastman and Laird version ones, or the Mirage comics. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. That's what these guys are. Now, there's a Casey Jones out there. I haven't seen him. Would I like to get him? Sure. But you have to find them first, right? I mean, you probably order them online. But, hey, look. It is what it is. I live out here on Long Island, so yeah, I don't know why it's so hard to get some of these things, but it took forever for this guy to show up in a store. So anyway, finally getting to Utrom. Let's talk about him a little bit. Beautiful head sculpt. I mean, I love the cell shading that they have done on this figure. I mean, on this robotic body. I mean, look, you can see all of the detail in the arms, on the back of the hand. I mean, just beautiful on his back. I mean, they went all out when it comes to detail. Now, we all know that with NECA, they don't have a whole lot of articulation, at least deep articulation, I should say. But this guy moves pretty good, I have to say. And then you have the Utrom himself, which is considered an accessory, if you ask me. Mine, he does come out. Just takes a little bit of doing. So let's put the robotic body down. And let's take a look at this guy. Now, I know in the pictures it doesn't show his head is like mine has a split head here. So that leads me to believe that this is Krang. And I'm wondering if there are other versions that don't have that slice in the head right there, that little split. Why it's there, I don't know, but hey, whatever, it just adds. And look at the crazy eyes that he has set back in there. I mean, this is a cool version of Krang, of the Utrom. I mean, that's what they're originally called. So, yeah, crazy looking little brain creatures, right? I mean, just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. But anyway, let's take a look at the articulation of this guy. And as you can see the spine in there. You can see where the Utrom sits on the inside. As far as articulation, head can look up, he can look down, side to side, and he has some head tilt, which is nice. Then you have his arms can move out this far. They can move up, back. Yeah, they can rotate all the way around. And then you have his arms, which are only single jointed. Mine are a little stiff, but still single jointed. He is a robot, so you're not gonna, they didn't move. They could run, but they didn't really do a whole lot of articulated stuff. He has his wrist bend and his wrist swivel. So yeah, and then up here you have an upper torso movement, and he does have a waist swivel, which is nice as well. Also with it, I mean, really nice. And then as far as his legs can move out this far, and then his knees, of course, are single jointed, and then moving down to the foot, you have your ankle articulation, which can move forward, up this far, and back this far. And then as far as the ankle rotation or pivot, it does. Pivots very nicely, very nicely. So, yeah, I mean, for a figure like the Utrom, that you could have him sit like he's been destroyed, right? You put that broken head on him, and there you'll have him. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to do a quick review on this guy. I didn't want to do anything crazy, too crazy with him, because I just wanted to show him off, let you guys see what the, Utrom looks like. And then if you want, I'm going to do this off camera. Give me a second. All right, so now that I got the alternate head popped off, you can actually pose him like this with this alternate head, which is really good. And it doesn't matter if you have him on his feet, you have him sitting down, you have him laying down, however you want to pose him with your collection is how you choose to do. But it is great. It's awesome. He looks great. He comes with a plethora of stuff. And I just have to say, even though he has limited articulation, okay, this NECA figure here is a great addition to your NECA turtles, especially if they are the Mirage comic ones. Even if they aren't, even if they're the movie ones and you just want to put an Utrom in there or have this version of Krang, you can do so. I mean, wow. Wow, 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 I have to say. But I will say one thing. Even though he has limited articulation, and we all know NECA is famous for this limited articulation when it comes to these figures, at least they are not falling apart when it comes to the bicep swivel. Arms aren't popping off or anything like that. You're not having these huge gaps or anything like you do with some other companies, what they're doing with their figures out there and charging you top dollar. You know you're getting a good product when it comes to NECA. You know you're getting a good product when it comes to the sculpts. And yes, you get limited articulation with them, but still, they are not falling apart. And that is what's important. That's what makes it worth the money that you are paying for these figures. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little review on the Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Utrom. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below, and always hit that notification bell so you never miss out on anything new. And I'll catch you all on the flippity flip.
He's one of a kind.